Hi, everyone. I'm Gary Null. Nice to have you with us today. We have a lot to share, and we begin with a study from the Medical University in China. And it's about two simple nutrients that, when taken together, can help you heal your liver. Now, maybe you've hurt your liver because of alcohol consumption or high fructose corn syrup, or maybe you've had hepatitis B and C that can really hurt the liver. Whatever the cause, Schisandra, that's Schisandra, Schisandra berries, and astragalus, Astragalus, astragalus root work in synergy. And this was shown when the scientists at the university wanted to know what can help the liver. And they found that it helps restore the liver to its ultimate utilization. I won't go into the science because it's a little technical. It deals with lignans, which are very good and found in Schisandra and very strong antioxidants, but they work. So if you have liver problems, try those two. Our next study comes from the Aalborg University Hospital in Denmark, and it's about, once again, blueberries. We've had so many good studies on blueberries, and blueberries were able to treat widespread IBS safely and where drugs fail. For the over 5% of adults suffering from uncomfortable irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, there's a nice solution. And it also helps eliminate a lot of the digestive distress and that comes, unfortunately, with the problem. And this was a landmark study because IBS is a global problem, and it's the costliest gastrointestinal disorder with few satisfactory therapies despite extensive drug trials. Alarmingly, over 70% of IBS patients report inadequate control of their illness. But a recently completed randomized trial for just 6 weeks of freeze-dried blueberries, a powder, increased self-reported abdominal symptom relief by 23% compared to the placebo group, especially for those with long-standing IBS or what is called dyspepsia. Unlike isolated components that naturally target single mechanisms, the full matrix of beneficial phytochemicals and metabolites in whole blueberries appear just wonderful because they interact synergistically against underlying intestinal dysfunction. And beyond improving bowel disorders, regular blueberry consumption lowers inflammation. Diabetes lowers the risk, and cardiovascular disease lowers the risk. How about that? All those wonderful things by just having blueberries. Our next study is really good news for those of you who've been taking, without a lot of success, but a lot of danger, the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, the pain relievers, especially for knee arthritis. This is from Hebei Medical University in China. And what they found is that exercise is better. This groundbreaking study found a tailored 12-week exercise program yielded superior improvement in pain, function, and quality of life compared to the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, which, by the way, a lot of people die from, and in treating knee osteoarthritis patients. The findings support conservative exercise therapies over risky anti-inflammatories. And for osteoarthritis sufferers worldwide, movement may soon trump medication as first-line treatment. So, something to consider. And I gave you all the information is on our website. Also, nighttime electronic devices were used and they lowered melatonin levels. This is from Brigham and Women's Hospital. This was published, by the way, in the National Academy of Sciences Proceedings. And they found at Boston's Brigham and Women's Hospital a suppressed effect for evening use of light emitting electronic devices, meaning like anything that gives off the blue light, not good at all. In fact, you should take some black tape and cover those lights up because they adversely affect the pineal gland. And that can, in turn, affect, along with other electronic devices, the electromagnetic frequencies can cause sleep deprivation and reduction in melatonin secretion. The melatonin is crucial. It's one of the single important antioxidants your body secretes. It helps your overall immune system. That's why when you have a good night's sleep, your immune system is vital in the morning. Quote, electronic devices emit light that is short wavelength enriched light, which has a high concentration of blue light with a peak around 450 nms than natural light. And this is different from natural light in composition, having greater impact on sleep and circadian rhythms. That's what they said. So try to look around. Look at your computer, look at all the things that you use electronically. If you see a blue light, cover it up or unplug it, better still. And you'll get a better night's sleep. Also from the University of Utah, how a walk in nature restores attention. New research from the University of Utah psychology researchers are helping to prove what American authors John Muir and Henry David Thoreau tried to teach more than 150 years ago. Quality time spent in nature is good for the heart and the soul. In this study, it was conducted at the Red Butte Garden, and they used electroencephalograph, or EEG, which records electrical activity in the brain with small discs attached to the scalp to measure participants' attention capacity. And what they found is this, according to their study, a walk in the woods, a walk in nature, enhances certain exclusive and executive control processes in the brain above and beyond the benefits associated with exercise. And it concludes that the study, which by the way is in scientific reports, that executive control occurs in the brain's prefrontal cortex, an area critical for working memory, decision making, problem solving, and coordinating disparate tasks. So, we've known a long time that you can relax, you de-stress when you're in green space, a park, in a backyard, a garden. I just finished building, by the way, my latest garden. It's one of the things I do to relax, de-stress. I've had this hobby for a long time, and I just never mention it. But this time around, I thought it might be worthwhile to suggest that if I put photographs up of the different stages of development in a relatively small space, it was about, let's say 60 feet wide and about 40 feet long, about the size of most people's backyard. Some people may want to use it and modify it to their own aesthetic needs, but it's a very tranquil, very peaceful place. I go and do my writing. And it took me total, doing it myself, about 3 weeks. I didn't do the succo, but getting the right kind of plants, getting perennials, the different colors, aromatic plants. And so you're just in a cacophony of wonderful smells, but that just totally lowers your blood pressure. It lowers your cortisol level to be in a garden. And then you have butterflies. And then I built a Tiki Hut. And the Tiki Hut has a screen in it, so it's free of insects. So you can just sit in one of these in your backyard, don't worry about mosquitoes, and just relax, enjoy, read, listen to music, listen to nature. Very, very important for our health. So if you go up on GaryNull.com, I'll put those up later this week, you'll see lifetime achievement. And one of them is landscaping and or what we call landscape architecture, meaning you're designing and constructing structures in nature that are important for you. In any case, it's meant to share and help other people. maybe get a little motivated. But anytime you can go to the beach and walk on the sand, go by a mountain lake, a stream, you're going to be enhanced by this. And many researchers suspect a primal need for nature is baked into the human DNA, and diminishes access to nature is putting our health at risk. I know a lot of friends of mine that they live in a city, in this case, Los Angeles or New York City, and they just never get out of it. If they do, it's just going from one part of the city to another: concrete, glass, steel, noise, artificial light, never seeing the sky at night, too many people, and yet we maladapt to that. I recently said that when I was back in New York recently, I saw something different that I'd never seen before. Now, mind you, I've been in New York since June 5th, 1965. Because of COVID, I was down here and in Florida at the animal sanctuary. And now that I've seen the changes that are occurring, people are still there, the buildings are still there. You still have opera and symphonies. You still have wonderful culture there, the best in the world. And some of the nicest people you ever meet are New Yorkers. But something has changed, something on a primal level. I was walking down Broadway from 89th Street to Lincoln Center, 65th Street. And I saw a lot of homeless people, but they've always been there. But then I saw people with mental conditions, and not just harmlessly talking to themselves, but screaming at people, flaring the fists at people, and one guy with a steel rod about 6 feet long, just bashing car windows and swinging at people's heads. And then I stopped and I just looked at this. And what was important was not that this person, who definitely needs medical help, not be thrown in a prison, but help him with whatever's wrong with his biochemistry or his conditioning. Everybody was just kind of walking around him. They weren't running, they were just getting out of the way and went about their business. And I thought, wow, we're adapting to this. This is the new normal, and it shouldn't be. In any case, I'd like to see more people get out of the city, even on the weekend, and go to a park nearby or go into nature, however you choose to do it. We have a wonderful park, Central Park, that's only safe during part of the day, and nobody goes in at night except those people who are predators. And we have Riverside Park, and we have Prospect Park in Brooklyn. And we have all these parks, and they're very helpful. They're very healing. So spend time in nature. That's what this study is showing. But because they're saying part of our nature is to be in nature, right? So that's important. And finally, from the University of Michigan, exposure to toxic metals, lead, mercury, cadmium, just in most people's drinking water, or eating fish, where you have all these chemicals from factory farm fish. And the only two fish that I would ever suggest that if people are going to eat fish, eat would be wild salmon and sardines. Everything else, the bigger the fish, like a swordfish, lots of heavy metals. So, but we get metals from a lot of different places. You should see about using a diet that actually chelates the metals out. The more green vegetables, the more green juices, chlorophyll, wheatgrass juice, spirulina, these are all good for your chlorella and vitamin C, or EDTA, ethylene diaminic tetracetic acid, helps chelate out heavy metals. But this study says this: when you're exposed to toxic metals, it accelerates a woman's ovary aging. So you don't want that. You don't want the exposure to toxins in the water. By the way, remember years ago, we found that how toxic Flint water was. Nobody should be drinking it. And then they kept charging people, for polluted water. Well, it turns out that there are 5,000 additional communities in the United States that have water as toxic or more toxic than Flint's. And all metals are toxic in that water, and it has a direct effect on women's ovaries. An alarming new study by a team with the Endocrine Society warned that middle-aged women exposed to toxic metals like arsenic, cadmium, mercury, and lead could have a reduced number of eggs in their ovaries as they near menopause. And it's known as diminished ovarian reserve. It means having fewer eggs compared to others of the same age and is associated with various health issues. Not good. Not good. Nothing that interrupts a woman's uh, natural hormone balance is good. That's the latest on the health and the healing. We're going to take a break and come right back. Please stay with us.